Welcome to another episode of Extreme Expat Stories of Thailand. Listen up, because I'm about to tell you the most messed up visa story you'll ever hear. My name's Jake. I'm 42, ex-Marine from Houston, and after 3 tours in Afghanistan and Iraq, I thought I'd seen every kind of bureaucratic nightmare possible. Boy, was I wrong. I came to Thailand in 2019 after getting out of the Corps, had some savings, picked up remote IT work, did some construction consulting, basically trying to piece together a normal life after 15 years of Uncle Sam owning my ass. Thailand seemed perfect, cheap living, great weather, and far enough from Texas that nobody would ask why I wake up screaming at 3 a.m. But here's what they don't tell you about Thailand. The visa system is designed by sadistic bastards who get off on watching foreigners suffer. It started innocent enough. Tourist visa, 30 days, no problem. Then I needed to extend it. Simple, right? Wrong. First trip to immigration in Bangkok. Changwatana, that concrete prison they call an office. I show up at 6 a.m. because some expat forum said that's the only way to avoid the lines. 6 a.m. And there's already 50 people ahead of me. I'm sitting there, watching Thai families cut in line like it's their birthright, while some German guy next to me is having a meltdown because he forgot to bring copies of his passport photo page. The whole place smells like fear, sweat, and that industrial disinfectant they use in military latrines. 8 hours later, 8 hours, I get to the window. Some immigration officer who looks like she'd rather be anywhere else glances at my paperwork for 30 seconds and stamps my passport. 30-day extension. Approved. Cost me a full day of work, which meant angry emails from my boss in California asking why I wasn't responding to the client crisis. Traffic was bad? I lied. Because how do you explain to your American boss that extending a tourist visa in Thailand is like storming a beach under enemy fire? 2 weeks later, I'm back. This time for address reporting. TM30 form. Apparently, every time you move or travel, your landlord is supposed to report your location to immigration within 24 hours. Mine didn't. So guess who gets to fix it? That's right, me. Another full day shot to hell. Another round of passive-aggressive emails from my boss. Another step closer to losing my shit completely. But the real nightmare started when I decided to convert my tourist visa to a non-B work visa. My Thai girlfriend, now ex-girlfriend, for reasons that'll become clear, hooked me up with a local company willing to sponsor me. Seemed legit. Real office, real employees, real business license. Converting from tourist to non-B meant leaving the country. Visa run to Cambodia. 4 a.m. bus from Khao San Road, packed with other visa prisoners. English teachers who look dead inside. German retirees trying to stretch their pensions. American digital nomads who think they're living the dream until reality hits. The bus breaks down twice. We're stuck at the border for 6 hours because some Chinese tour group ahead of us had issues. I'm chain smoking outside a 7-Eleven, watching my phone blow up with messages from work, thinking about how easy it would be just to walk into the jungle and disappear. But I stick it out. Get the non-B visa. Come back to Thailand. Employer processes my work permit. I'm legal, finally. Or so I thought. Because here's the thing about non-B visas. They're only good for 90 days. Then you have to extend. Every 90 days after that, you have to report to immigration just to tell them you still exist and haven't fled to Burma or joined the Khmer Rouge. 90-day reporting should be simple. Walk in, show your passport, get stamped, leave. But this is Thailand, where simple doesn't exist. First 90-day report. 5 hours at immigration because their computer system crashed. I'm sitting in those plastic chairs that feel like they were designed by the same asshole who invented waterboarding, watching the clock tick away another workday. My phone's buzzing nonstop with client emergencies, and I can't do shit about it because I'm trapped in bureaucratic purgatory. My boss sends me an email with the subject line, "Where are you?" I write back explaining the situation. His response, "This is unacceptable. Figure it out or we'll find someone who can." That's when the anger really started building. You know that feeling when you're back in Afghanistan, taking fire from some hillside you can't see, and you want to call in an airstrike on the whole mountain? That's what immigration does to me. Second day, 90-day report. New rule. Now you need copies of every single page in your passport, plus your TM30 address form, plus a letter from your employer, plus blood samples and your firstborn child. Okay, I'm exaggerating about the blood samples, but barely. I show up with what I think is the right paperwork. Wrong. Missing the employer letter on company letterhead. Have to come back another day. Another lost workday. Another angry email from my boss. Third time. I get it right. But now they want to see my bank statements to prove I'm not broke. Bank statements from my Thai bank, which requires a special stamp from the bank manager, who's only available on Wednesdays between 2 and 4 p.m. I'm starting to lose my mind. Literally. The PTSD that was mostly under control starts flaring up. I'm having flashbacks to deal with Afghan bureaucrats who would demand bribes just to process simple paperwork. At least those guys were honest about being corrupt. My work performance is slipping. I'm missing client calls because I'm sitting in immigration hell. My boss puts me on a performance improvement plan, which is corporate speak for find a new job, asshole. That's when my ex-girlfriend's friend, Noi, told me about the visa agency. Don't go to immigration, she said over beers at some rooftop bar in Tonglor. Too much headache. I know a guy. Very good. Very professional. He can fix everything for you. The guy was named Somchai, because of course it was, and he operated out of a condo office in Asok, the kind of place where the elevator smells like curry and broken dreams, and half the unit numbers are missing from the doors. Somchai looked the part. Expensive watch, designer polo shirt, BMW keys on the desk like a damn prop. His English was perfect, which should have been my first red flag right there. You have too much stress with immigration, he said, flipping through my passport like he was reading the morning news. I can help you. No more 90-day reporting. No more extensions. No more problems. How? I asked. Special arrangement. I have connections inside immigration. Very high level. They process your visa directly. Skip all the normal requirements. Cost is 20,000 baht. 20,000 baht. About $600. Expensive. But think about it. No more lost workdays. No more angry bosses. No more sitting in those goddamn plastic chairs for 8 hours at a time. What kind of visa? I asked. Non-B. Multiple entry. Valid for 1 year. No extensions needed. No 90-day reporting. You just renew once per year. Very easy. It sounded too good to be true. And as every Marine learns in boot camp, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. But I was desperate. My boss was already shopping for my replacement. My sanity was hanging by a thread. I needed a solution. How does it work? I asked. Simple. You give me your passport. I submit to my contact at immigration. 2 weeks, maybe 3. Everything finished. You get SMS when ready to collect. I should have walked away. Should have listened to that voice in my head. The same voice that kept me alive in Helmand province, telling me something was wrong. But desperation makes you stupid. I handed over my passport and 20,000 baht in cash. 2 weeks turned into 3. 3 turned into 4. Every time I called Somchai, he had a new excuse. Immigration very busy now. Your case under special review. Need little a bit more time for quality check. Meanwhile, I'm working on a tourist visa extension, burning through my savings, and dodging questions from my boss about when I'll have this visa situation sorted out permanently. The stress was eating me alive. I wasn't sleeping, wasn't eating right, was drinking too much, and getting into arguments with my girlfriend over stupid shit. The anger from my military days was coming back. That cold, focused rage that made me good at killing, but terrible at being around them. Finally, after 5 weeks, I get a text. Your visa ready. Please collect at office tomorrow. I ride my motorcycle across Bangkok at rush hour, weaving between buses and trucks, my helmet filling with exhaust fumes and anxiety. The office building looks the same, but when I get to Somchai's floor, half the units are empty. Bad sign. Somchai is still there though, all smiles and apologies. Very sorry for delay. Immigration very careful with your case, but everything perfect now. He hands me my passport. I flip to the visa page, and it looks professional. Official stamps, fancy holographic stickers, all the right dates and reference numbers. I'm not a visa expert, but it looks legit to me. What about the work permit? I ask. Already submitted to Labor Ministry. You receive by mail within 1 week. I want to believe him. Need to believe him. So I do. 3 weeks later, I book a trip to Vietnam. Not because I have to. Supposedly this fancy new visa doesn't require border runs. But because I haven't left Thailand in months and I'm going stir crazy. Plus, a client meeting in Ho Chi Minh City that might save my job. I show up at Suvarnabhumi airport feeling good for the first time in months. No more immigration stress. No more lost work days. I can finally focus on rebuilding my career and my life. I get to the departure gate, hand my passport to the immigration officer. She scans it, frowns, scans it again, calls over her supervisor. They have a whispered conversation in Thai while I stand there trying to look casual. Sir, please step to the side, the supervisor says. That's when I know I'm in trouble. They escort me to a small office behind the immigration counters. There's a desk, 2 chairs, and a poster of the Thai king looking disappointed in me personally. Sir, we need to ask you some questions about your visa, says the immigration captain, a middle-aged woman with dead eyes and a voice like broken glass. What kind of questions? I ask, but I already know where this is going. Your visa appears to be irregular. Irregular how? The reference number does not match our system. The stamps are not authentic. This visa is fake. The words hit me like a roadside bomb. Everything goes red. My vision narrows. My hands start shaking, not from fear, but from pure, unfiltered rage. What the hell do you mean fake? I'm on my feet, shouting, my voice echoing off the concrete walls. I paid 20,000 baht for that visa. I got it from an agency. Sir, please calm down. Calm down? Calm down? Do you know what I've been through? Do you know how many hours I've spent in your damn immigration offices? I'm pacing now, my hands clenched into fists. All those months of suppressed anger, all those lost work days, all that bureaucratic humiliation. It's all coming out at once. I'm going to sue everyone. I'm calling the American embassy. I'm calling the tourism authority. This is damn extortion. That's when the security guards show up. Two big Thai guys who look like they've dealt with angry foreigners before. Sir, you need to come with us, one of them says. I'm not going anywhere until someone explains to me how visa I paid for is fake. But they're not asking. They grab my arms, professionally, firmly, and start walking me toward another door. That's when the military training kicks in. For a split second, I'm calculating how to break free, how to disable both guards, how to fight my way out of the airport. The same instincts that kept me alive in combat zones are telling me to hurt people and run. But I'm not in Afghanistan anymore. I'm a foreigner in a country where assaulting airport security will get me deported or worse. So I let them walk me to the holding room. The holding room is exactly what you'd expect. Concrete walls, metal bench, fluorescent lighting that flickers like a strobe light at a rave from hell. There's a squat toilet in the corner and a water bottle that looks like it's been recycled since the Vietnam War. I sit there for 6 hours. 6 damn hours. No phone calls, no lawyer, no explanation. Just me, my thoughts, and the slow realization that I've been completely, thoroughly screwed. Around hour 4, the rage burns itself out and the depression kicks in. I'm thinking about my ex-wife back in Texas, about how she always said I'd never amount to anything after the military, about my kids who barely know me because I was deployed more than I was home, about the client meetings I'm missing, the job I'm probably about to lose, the life I was trying to build that's crumbling around me. Finally, the immigration captain comes back with a folder full of paperwork. Mr. Jake, she says, we have reviewed your case, and the visa agency you used is known to us. They have been operating a fraudulent visa scheme for several months. We have many cases like yours. So you know I'm not the criminal here. I'm the victim. Yes, this is correct. However, you still enter Thailand with false documents. This is a serious violation. My heart stops. What does that mean? Normally, this would result in deportation and a ban from entering Thailand for 5 years. But I didn't know. I was scammed. Yes, we understand this. Because you are the victim of a fraud, we will not deport you, but your name will be flagged in our system. Any future visa applications will require special approval. She slides a document across the desk. Sign this acknowledgement and you can leave. But you must apply for a new visa through proper channels immediately. I sign the paper because what choice do I have? They escort me out of the airport like a criminal, past all the tourists and business travelers who stare at me like I'm a terrorist or drug smuggler. I take a taxi back to Bangkok, my mind racing. First stop, Somchai's office. But when I get there, the unit is empty, cleaned out, like he never existed. The building security guard tells me in broken English that the man moved out 3 days ago. No forwarding address, just gone, along with my 20,000 baht and whatever was left of my faith in humanity. I spend the next week trying to get a proper visa, back to the immigration office. Those same plastic chairs, the same computer crashes, the same bureaucratic nightmare that drove me to the scammer in the first place. But now it's worse, because every time they scan my passport, red flags pop up in their system. What is this flag? Every immigration officer asks. I was scanned by a visa agency, I explain for the 100th time. You must speak to supervisor. More waiting, more delays, more lost work hours. My boss finally fires me via email while I'm sitting in the immigration office waiting room. The subject line, termination of employment, effective immediately. The email is professional, cold, businesslike. Due to continued performance issues and frequent absences, we have decided to terminate your employment. Your final payment will be processed within 30 days. I read it on my phone while surrounded by other visa prisoners, and I swear to God, I almost lose it again, almost throw my phone against the wall, almost start screaming at every immigration officer in sight. But what's the point? They didn't scam me. They're just doing their jobs in a system designed to make foreign workers suffer. Do you want to know what the real problem is? It's not the immigration officers. Most of them are decent people trapped in a messed up system. It's not even the scammers, though they deserve to rot in hell. The real problem is an immigration system that makes it so goddamn difficult to stay legal that people get desperate enough to take stupid risks. When you have to take a full day off work every 90 days just to report your address, something that could be done online in 5 minutes, you create a market for people who promise to solve your problems illegally. When visa extensions require more paperwork than a security clearance application, when the rules change without notice, when officers give different answers to the same questions depending on their mood, you push people toward shortcuts that seem too good to be true. And they usually are. I managed to get a new tourist visa eventually, found a new job, remote work for a company that doesn't give a shit where I am as long as I deliver results. Started the whole immigration dance again. Extensions, 90-day reporting, visa runs. But now I'm flagged in the system. Every interaction takes longer. Every application gets special review. Every immigration officer looks at me like I'm a criminal trying to pull a fast one. The final straw came 6 months later. I was at immigration for my quarterly 90-day reporting. Same plastic chairs, same computer crashes, same wasted day. When the officer processing my paperwork looked up and said, "You again? The fake visa man." Something in me just snapped. Not the violent, screaming rage from the airport. Something quieter, colder. The moment when you realize you're done fighting a war you can't win. I looked around that immigration office, at the Vietnamese grandmother who'd been there since dawn with her family visa applications, at the Australian retiree trying to explain why his bank account was from last month instead of this month, at the line of people stretching out the door, all of us trapped in the same bureaucratic hell. And I made a decision. I'm done. Here's the thing about Thailand. I love this country. Love the food, love the weather, love the culture, love the Thai people, who are some of the kindest, most generous humans I've ever met. But the immigration system is designed by sadists who hate foreigners and want to make our lives as miserable as possible. You can't stay here legally without dedicating your entire life to visa paperwork. You can't work without jumping through hoops that would make circus animals quit in protest. You can't even exist here without reporting your location every 90 days like you're a registered sex offender. And if you can get desperate enough to look for shortcuts, like I did, you'll find plenty of scammers ready to take your money and mess up your life permanently. I'm leaving Thailand next month, not because I want to, but because I can't do this bullshit anymore. It's like they don't want you to stay here legally, like the whole system is designed to drive foreigners away, while taking as much of their money as possible in the process. Maybe that's the point. Maybe Thailand doesn't want long-term foreign residents. Maybe they just want tourists who spend their money and leave, and temporary workers who they can exploit and discard. If that's the case, mission accomplished. You win, Thailand. You've broken another one. I'll miss the street food. I'll miss the beaches. I'll miss the sense of possibility that brought me here in the first place, back when I thought Thailand might be the place where an old Marine could find some peace. But I won't miss those damn plastic chairs at immigration. I won't miss losing 4 workdays to bureaucratic nonsense. And I sure as hell won't miss being treated like a criminal for trying to follow the rules in a system where the rules change every time the wind shifts direction. So if you're thinking about moving to Thailand long term, here's my advice. Don't. Come for vacation. Enjoy the temples and the beaches and the amazing food, but don't try to build a life here unless you enjoy psychological warfare disguised as paperwork. Because that visa agency scam wasn't the real crime. The real crime is an immigration system so hostile to foreign workers that it creates a market for criminals to exploit desperate people. And the saddest part? I'm probably going to miss it anyway. Semper Fi, Thailand. It's been real.